Wow. I cannot believe I've reached over 100 subscribers just based on my random rambling videos about phones and other useless things that no one else really cares about. But clearly I was wrong. There are people that actually care about that stuff. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed. It really means a lot. I'm not doing this for monetization. I'm not making any money off of these videos, nor do I plan on doing that anytime soon. I am just doing this for fun. I work a lot of hours at my job, and I do find some enjoyment in my job, but you know, I find more enjoyment in doing stuff like this. It is nice to get to do this again. I put in a lot of hours these past 2 weeks, more than 100 hours, so yeah. Been very occupied, but needless to say, overdue for a video, and I feel what better way to celebrate over 100 subscribers than by doing a little show and tell and showing you guys the different phones and devices that I have in my collection. A lot of them are like pretty old. They're antiques. They still work, most of them. So we're gonna take a look. Also, it just occurred to me that this phone right here, I've shown this in quite a few videos now. Y'all have never heard it ring. I feel like I've edged you guys on and I've never made the phone ring. So, you know, I apologize for that. And we're gonna fix that right now. It'll just keep ringing if I let it go. But yeah, that is the ringtone of all of the landlines that are in my house. And I'll show you what the default ringer sounds like. Let me tell you, it's not pleasant. That's why I picked a different ringtone. There it is. That's the default. It's pretty bad. I do not like it. Nope, absolutely not. You can actually put a lot of ringtones. You know, I was playing around with this and I put the Cisco ringtone on here for pretty much all of the Cisco phones that exist. But you know, it's funny, online, when I downloaded the file, they call it the Dunder Mifflin ringtone. I mean, technically that's correct. Yes, it is the ringtone that's been used in the office, but like, it's the Cisco ringtone in my eyes. It's not the Dunder Mifflin ringtone. Anyways, enough of that. I'm not here to listen to these ringtones. Now, for the most part, this phone's kind of going to be out of the shot. I'm going to have it off to the side here. This phone's going to be used for dialing the phones that we're going to be testing today. So yeah, I'm not going to just be using some random electrical whatever injector thing to make the phone ring. No, I'm going to actually hook these phones up to an analog telephone adapter. We're going to actually hear them ring, and we're going to be able to get two-way communication from them. So let's get started. For some of these, I actually have the original packaging. So first up, we have the AT&T TrimLine 230 telephone. I don't know if this is the official packaging for like a brand new version of these phones, because this was actually a reconditioned model. So maybe this is just like special packaging for those reconditioned phones. I found this at an antique shop and I only paid like maybe 20 bucks for it. The thing is, it did not work when I got it, though my friend at the time, he was really good with soldering. He decided to take this whole thing apart. He touched up all of the solder joints and we ended up getting it working. And I was very surprised. I was very happy and super grateful. Get that little bit in there. So we got this. Let's take a look at the phone. Yeah, it's your typical phone. It's got everything you need. It's the AT&T TrimLine 230. Now, it's interesting because you can actually still find similar versions of these made by AT&T to this day. I think they call it the TrimLine 210 or something like that, or maybe they have a different variation. But yeah, these still somewhat exist, just not this specific version. This one is from like the early 90s. Let's hear what it sounds like when it rings. My analog telephone adapter's on the other side of my office here, and got this thing here, so we're just gonna plug it in. I'm not gonna bother feeding the cord in through here because I'm gonna be connecting and disconnecting it pretty often. But first test is to, I guess, pick it up off the hook. And whoa, static. Yeah, this is a very old phone. There is some static noises every now and then, but I don't know if you can see by the backlight. Let me make it dark in here real quick. I don't know if you can see by the backlight that it is working. We got a green backlight. And let's hear it ring. Nope, it's making static. Oh boy. You can hear it on this phone. Knock it off. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, it's okay. There we go. Got it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's working just fine. Echo. And I'm gonna take it off speakerphone, pick up the handset. I'm gonna put the volume all the way on maximum here. So I'm gonna hold it up to the phone and you can see, you can hear and see that it's working. It works perfectly fine. This phone actually does have like a little bit of history in this house specifically. I actually used to have this in my bathroom. This was like my emergency phone in case something happened. I've since replaced it with a much newer model because obviously the static was becoming a problem, and you know, it would be nice to have caller ID. Not that it's needed, but hey, if I'm in the bathroom and I get a phone call, I'd like to see who's calling. But yeah, it was primarily in my bathroom and then moved it to my bedside, just stayed there for a little bit. Didn't really have a purpose on my bedside because I also had a caller ID phone there too, so I just decided to keep it here in my office. Now it's just chilling at my other desk. I have 3 phones sitting at my desk because my voice over IP provider can support up to 3 incoming calls simultaneously, so I have that option and I've actually used it, so it's worked out. But enough of that. Let's actually look what's inside the box because there is definitely some history here. We've got wax paper. We've got a purchase receipt purchased by someone named Vahi Mechikian. I think that's how you say it. And this was purchased at the AT&T phone center located in the Pompano Bellcrest Plaza, Pompano Beach, Florida. Wow. Purchased on, it looks like May 10th, 1994. Wow. All right. So like early to mid 90s, I would say. Got this piece of paper here. So like I had mentioned, this is a reconditioned model. Came with this little letter. It says, "Dear AT&T customer, we're pleased to send you this telephone product to replace the one you recently returned to us for repair. We may have substituted different but comparable equipment depending on product availability." It's just so funny to me, like to think that people actually sent out their landlines to get fixed. Like it, now it's like we're doing that with our cell phones. Well, now we can just take our cell phones and most likely get them fixed the same day. It's not often we have to send them out anymore. If this product does not meet your communication needs in terms of functions and features, please call us on our toll-free business office number. I wonder if that number's still active. Interesting. And in here we have the repair log. Yeah, interesting. Actually, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is a sale invoice or there's clearly something here that they peeled off and I guess affixed to a box. Maybe this was like a return shipping label or something like that. I don't know. Interesting. No, these are both repairs. Okay, so I'm assuming maybe this got sent out twice for repair, or maybe this was like another one that was sent to the customer when they received the new reconditioned phone. I have no idea. Still, very cool. This, actually, yeah, it should say a more exact date on here. 93/10/29. 1993, September 29th. Well, that's when it was shipped. September 28th is when it was ordered. Carried out by United Parcel Service. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Well, this customer here, Vahi Mechikian, thank you for this. Thank you for keeping everything with this, and thank you for donating this to the antique store because this is cool. It's like going back in time almost. This is my receipt. Yeah, this is from when I purchased it at the antique store. I got it for 25 bucks. Worth it. And what else we got in here? Oh yeah, warranty information. Comes with a little warranty sticker. I think you were supposed to like write the date and the model on it and then affix it to the back of the phone or something like that, but I guess this person never did that. Please retain for your records. Yeah, that's just warranty info. Interesting. I don't know what this red stuff is. It almost looks like it's the phone cord and it melts it. No, that's a different red. I don't know what that is. That's weird. But yeah, this is the product registration card. Before you did it online, you had to actually fill it out and mail it in to register your product. That's funny. There's still some companies that do that to this day. They give you the option to do it online or mail in, which, I mean, who mails in a registration anymore? Who even does a registration? Like, seriously, I feel like I don't know anyone to do that. And yeah, we got the instruction manual. I actually referenced this manual because I wanted to figure out how to program these top 3 buttons for emergency services as well as do some of the speed dials. So for example, I took this out just so you could see what the original looks like. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. What am I thinking? And there's still quite a few of them in here. I think there's like 2 or 3. Oh, just 2. Yeah, there's only 2 of them, but I am not touching these. I'm not writing on them whatsoever. I just went ahead and printed this out like on my laser printer, stuck it right in here, cut it out to match the frame, put this little thing in here and did that. Oh, Jesus Christ, that scared me. I left it off the hook too long. I just decided to put that in there just as 911 emergency. And then you can see speed dial 1, pick up line 1, speed dial 2, pick up line 2. Speed dial 3 is to put the call on hold. And yeah, they actually work. That is the AT&T TrimLine phone. Just gonna go ahead and put all of this memorabilia back in the box. I was always fascinated with this style of telephones growing up. My cousin had one of these. She had a pink one. And I mean, even though it was pink, I was like, wow, that's so cool. It just looked so retro, and it's just like, you know, all the cool kids had one in their rooms, and I wanted to be like that. So yeah, I eventually got one. Anyways, moving on. All right, so this next one here, this one is actually kind of special to me. Now, this isn't like anything that I grew up with or anything like that, but the reason why it's special to me is because this specific design, like this specific phone, my uncle who passed away a few years ago, he actually used to have one of these in his bedroom. And like, I remember being a little kid and seeing not this exact version, but he just had like the regular cordless phone version. Like, he had this hanging on the wall. I remember exactly what it looked like. I remember seeing him use it and pulling up the antenna, and I'm just like, wow. Too funny. Yeah, sadly with this one, you can see it's giving an error code E1. The answering system is broken. I have tried to fix this. I was successful at one point, but the thing is, it just quickly breaks again. The bands or rubber, whatever you call them, the things that drive all of the gears, those basically disintegrated, and I had to do surgery work just to pull all of that out and carefully clean it. I attempted to use a rubber band, or actually a couple of rubber bands, to reattach the gears. It did work at first, but eventually it just stopped working, and a lot of the things are reliant on this answering system. Like, you can't set the clock. Really, you can't do anything without it working, so it's always going to give an error. This one was interesting because I had to let this charge for quite a few hours. In the instructions, it says you have to charge this for a full 10 hours before you can use it. I'm like, oh boy. Let it charge in the background while I was preparing for this video, so it should be enough. Yeah, let's go ahead and plug it in, and I guess let's hear it ring. There she is. Oh yeah, and this was fancy too, because when you pick it up off the hook, it automatically picks up the phone. Very cool. It has the little glowing lights so that when it's dark, you can see the numbers. Let's see how well that works. Turn the lights off, turn the phone on. I mean, it's enough, I guess, for me. I don't know if an elderly person would be able to read that, because that is just dark, but I mean, hey, for like early 90s technology, that's pretty impressive. And this one was cool. Like, this phone system was state of the art, because you could actually record calls. You could access the voicemails without having to be home. Like, that was considered a luxury feature at the time. But the big thing with this one too, you could access the voicemail from the handset. Like, you didn't have to listen to it from the base. You could literally just go on here, press the answering system button, and it would like do stuff on here. It says low battery. Oh, no, low battery. I should have waited the 10 hours. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a successful phone call on here, but yeah. So, little update. It is a new day. I took this apart, I reapplied the rubber bands, and I was able to get it somewhat functional. I still am not able to get it to fast forward and rewind. I don't know if I hooked up the gears properly, but additionally, as I was in the process of taking it apart, this little thing fell out, which is the half of a gear. And yeah, that's kind of a lost cause, so I'm not gonna focus too much on that. Regardless of that, the way that I have it hooked up, it is giving me access to certain functions. So now it's actually telling us the time of day if I press the clock button. But the volume slider, it specifically says this in the instruction manual. You have to push the volume slider to the middle, right in the middle area, because that is the only way it'll work. And then you can push the clock button. Yeah, right there.
Sunday, 1:35 p.m.
The crazy part is that today is actually Sunday. It's not 1:35 p.m., but you know, really knows its days of the week, even without the battery. Got that working. I also got the phone charged a little bit more, so we can experiment with that. But now the intercom feature works. So I can pick this up, press the intercom button. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. It's very quiet. And even if I push the volume all the way up, it's still very, very quiet. Like, you can not hear anything coming out of this speaker at all. I'm blowing air into it. There we go. Okay. All right, that's doable. So yeah, you can hear it sort of coming out of here. So if I put the phone up to here, Yeah, you can hear it. So the intercom works now. That's pretty cool. The battery light is flashing, so it has enough juice to get by. Every time it rings or whatever, it just, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let's do a demonstration of the phone call. Pull the antenna up. I am stupid. I don't even have the friggin' landline plugged in. There we go. Take two. Okay, we have a dial tone this time. All right, so that's the thing. The commands aren't always going through. I don't know if it's because of the battery being in the state that it is, but I find that sometimes I have to really wait before I push a button, or it just, I don't know. Let's try this again. Yeah, it didn't go through. Okay, yeah, that was not usable at all. Huh, not at all usable. That's a shame. I wonder if it has something to do with the channel number. Let's try that. So right now it's channel 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Oh. Channel 5. Okay, let's try that. Better. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, speakerphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is pretty good quality for a phone this age. Like, I'm very surprised. And if I take it off speaker, put it like this, hold it up here, testing 1, 2, 3. It works. Good old AT&T 5600. It really would be cool to be able to use some of these features on here, like the answering system, because it has all these functions. If I push this button, it'll make things happen on here and it might break it. I don't know. Let me try it. Oh, it actually said something. Oh, hold on a sec. That was interesting. What did it say? Oh, cool. All right, so it does work. So check it out. There's no way for me to raise the volume on here, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna push this button and put it up here. Oh, it didn't work. Don't tell me it's because of low battery. Come on, don't fight me. Yep, it's low battery. Dang it. Ugh. All right, gonna let that charge for a second, then I'm gonna try it again. Okay, I think that was long enough. Let's see. Let's try it. I'm gonna press it right away. Answering system.
You have no messages.
I don't know if it worked. Oh, it was saying something. It said press 5 for help. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I guess just for the heck of it, one more time, let's hear it ring. Beautiful. Automatically answers. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Gotta get the full experience. But yeah, that's that. AT&T 5600. Somewhat functional. Okay, well, that's that. I'm gonna go back in time to the rest of the video so you can see what else I have to showcase. I actually forgot. I forgot to show you guys the box and everything. This one, I actually have the original packaging. I found this at a Goodwill. Yeah, I'm holding it upside down again. Stop holding it upside down. But yeah, this is state-of-the-art features. Sound quality, clarity plus. Sound virtually eliminates static. Hey, you know, it sounded pretty good when I was talking through this phone. Like, this is a high-quality audio phone. It actually sounded very audible. I mean, obviously I was like less than a foot away from the base station, but still, pretty good quality for a phone of this age. Retrieve messages from the cordless handset or from any other touch-tone phone. Like, that's awesome. And then announces the time of day of each message. Yep, that's standard now. Pager and intercom. I am not sure what this is. Digital security system prevents unauthorized access. I'm assuming that's probably like a code that you have to type in so that, like, if you're away from home, you dial your house and you want to check your messages. I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't know. There is stuff in here. Let's take a look at the stuff. Yes, and thank you to this person who donated this to Goodwill and kept all of the manuals and everything like that. They also kept something in here that it's not really related to the phone itself. Where is it? This one right here. Bell Atlantic Network Services. Staten Island, New York. That's where this came from. Wow, that is incredible. Yep, New York postage. This was the phone service that I guess they were using with this phone. I think it just goes over like the features of the phone service, not really features of the phone itself. Thank you for your order. Sure you enjoy the ease and convenience of your new Bell Atlantic services designed to complement your lifestyle. Ooh. Call return, repeat dialing, call trace, caller ID, Call ID with name? Whoa. Call waiting ID. Call waiting ID with name. Anonymous call rejection. That's interesting. How does that work? I wonder if it's like, you reject the call and then it plays like a doo-doo-doo. Caller is not available kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, it just shows how to access those features. Star 69, everyone knows what that is. Repeat dialing, star 86. Some of these are still used to this day with other like private branch exchanges. I think even my phone system, like my free PBX system, has some of these codes that do pretty much the same exact thing. So yeah, standard codes, pretty interesting. But yeah, that's just the phone service at the time. I guess this used to belong to J-Nee. J-Nee. Cool name. This comes with like so many different instruction manuals, which is weird. Oh, and this is I don't know why there's two of them, but this is the quick reference guide. This I thought was hilarious. Yeah, it basically just explains all about the phones as we are radios. Our Clarity Plus circuitry is designed to eliminate most interference, to minimize the possibility of interference. Don't put me here, I'll get a headache. I'll get a stomach ache here. He's away from all that. He's like, I feel great. I don't like computers either. Well, sorry, I can't relate. I love computers. In some cases, I prefer being upstairs. I guess that does make sense, the base station being in the highest possible point, higher the antenna is better. Let me see, where does it say? Yep, okay, yep, right here. Charge handset batteries a full 10 hours before using. The fact that I left this thing charging for like 3 hours and it was able to work the way that it did just now, that's pretty damn impressive for a battery that old. Yeah, another quick reference guide, answering machine operation, yeah, yada yada yada. Important cordless information. Read instructions. During thunderstorms, avoid using telephones except cordless models. Yeah, unless you're standing outside. Yeah, if you're standing outside, make sure to pull the antenna all the way up. That's a great idea during a thunderstorm. Limited warranty, FCC, repair instructions, rights of the telephone company. If your telephone is causing harm to the telephone network, the telephone company may temporarily discontinue your telephone service. What? Was that actually a thing? That's interesting. I didn't realize that phones, well, I guess if people tamper with them or if it malfunctions and breaks the line. I guess lines were probably more sensitive back then. I don't know. So we got the owner's manual. That's the thing. There's two owner's manuals. I'm not sure why they're both completely different. I guess maybe this is probably an older version that was only printed in black and white, and maybe this is a fancier version printed in color, but really it's just black and blue. Nothing super fancy. And this one, I'm assuming maybe this previous owner had another phone that was just like this one, but instead of it being the 5600 system, it was just the 5400, which I think is just the phone and a base unit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just no answering system or anything like that. This was the one that my uncle had, and this was the one that I saw hanging on the wall in his bedroom. Ah, I miss you, uncle. All the memories. All right, so the next one we have, I unfortunately am not able to test this one. This one is Bell System by Western Electric. This is a classic rotary telephone. Pulse dialing. Now, unfortunately, the type of connector on this is one that I have never really come across. I researched it as best as I could, but I didn't really find much information on it. I think it works the same way as like any other telephone, but I believe the phone was broken, or the phone is broken. This was donated to me by my former friend. He told me right off the bat it was broken. I even tried taking like little banana clips, connecting it and plugging it into my analog telephone adapter. Even though my telephone adapter doesn't support pulse dialing, it still is capable of providing the 48 volt signal to, give it a dial tone, and like same thing with the 90 volt signal to make it ring. But alas, no matter how I connected it to these, I could not get a dial tone. I could not get the phone to ring. So yeah, it is what it is. The cord on here, it's like a rope cord. Like this style is coming back to this day. I know Apple makes all of their cords like this with the MacBooks and things like that. So it's full circle. I'm assuming this was probably state of the art back then. But there's even a little bit of stuff on here. It's like, in case of fire, call whatever this number is, 4301. I'm assuming they probably did the closest numbers possible. I don't know what these are. If busy, dial 0 for the operator. Yep, makes sense. I think in New York, they specifically requested this so that it would be quick to dial the area code. So you go 3, 2, 1. I did that wrong. I did 332, but yeah, 3, 2, 1. I think I did that wrong again. Yeah, I'm not good at this at all. It's cool that the rotary function still works. Yeah, I wish I could test it. maybe for another day. Oh yeah, just to show you the handset, it does say Bell System by Western Electric. I don't know how well you can see that. I currently cannot see my camera, so I apologize if it's blurry, but yeah. That is that. Can't really do much with this one other than just show it off. Back on the shelf you go. The last one that we have for the antiques, we have another one by Western Electric. It's pretty much says the same thing, Bell System by Western Electric. This one was given to me by my father. I went home one day to visit my parents and I saw this on my father's workbench and I asked him, hey Dad, what is this thing? And he told me that it was an old telephone ringer. He found this in an old warehouse that he was doing work at. The warehouse was apparently closing down. They were getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and yeah, he saw this mounted on the wall, so he decided to just take it off and take it home with him. When he brought this home, this did not have any type of a connector on it. This was literally just a bare wire with 4 conductors just splitting out. Luckily, I had the tool to attach this little doohickey on the end right here. It's I think an RJ12 is what they call it. Anyways, let's make it ring. I'm gonna plug this in like that. Plug that in like that. And let's give it a dial. Yeah, you can see it works. Now, you notice that it stuttered there. This telephone adapter that I'm using, it's basically taking 5 volts, 2 amps, and it's converting to 48 volts, however many amps. And then same thing with the ring, it converts it to like 90 volts. Yeah, it's not a very powerful device, so that's why it kind of chops out with the ring. But for what it is, it works pretty well. I can't really complain. Let's try it again. Yeah, it only did it once there. Yeah, it's still pretty consistent, still pretty damn loud. So yeah, I could totally see this being in a warehouse and notifying whoever's there so they can hear the phone ring. And last but not least, I have the Grandstream DP710. This is honestly just a regular decked cordless phone that uses 2.4 gigahertz, but the base station is actually a voice over IP system. This was my very first voice over IP phone that I purchased. Yeah, I had it connected to just a regular voice over IP provider, which was honestly a nightmare because I kept getting so many spam calls and like hacker calls. Those are calls where it's like just a random 3-digit number that dials and it will just keep ringing and ringing and ringing the phone until you answer it. And when you answer it, no one's there to talk. It apparently grants them access to your system, but you know, I didn't have a system. That's apparently just like a phishing tactic for people to hack a phone system for some company. But yeah, I stopped having that problem once I got my free PBX system installed. Living on my own, or living not with my parents, but with a roommate, this was my first landline, I guess you could call it. I still use it to this day. It sits on my desk. I'm sure you guys saw it in my my other Yes I Use a Landline video. So yeah, this one, the ringer's nothing special with this one, but let's just hear what it sounds like. Yeah, nothing special, but the quality's pretty good. It supports the G711 codec, which means that it can do HD voice, but you know, the decked 2.4 gigahertz kind of downgrades that quality, so it really just sounds like a regular phone. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is my collection of phones and phone-like devices. Hopefully I can acquire more throughout the years and maybe do more videos on them. I really want to try to get that AT&T 5600 working and then mess around with that, see what all of the capabilities are. I want to try like the call recording. I want to see, I just want to use it. It sucks that like you can't use anything because of the answering machine not working. But another day, another video. Anyways, guys, thank you all for subscribing. You all are amazing. You make me feel special, and I hope to keep doing this. So yeah, thanks for watching.